What is a primal question? How can it affect you? How can I help? The primal question is the thing under the thing that drives everything. Think about your life as a tree. It has branches and roots. The problem with most things you try to help you is that they focus on those branches. You trim, you chop, you prune the branches, you cut out this habit or you try and reduce your intake of that. All that focus of these changes trying to make you happy. But the reality is that all of these changes often lead to frustration on your part. Without constant effort, the changes don't stick. Because you're focusing on the branches when you need to deal with the roots of the tree. Your primal question is formed in your early childhood years. See, as a child, you had an emotional need for things such as self-worth, safety, value, purpose, inclusion. And these show up in the form of questions that demand an answer from your caretaker. When the need is met, you get a yes to your question, and you don't have to keep asking it. But if the need is unmet, or the answer to the question comes back with a maybe or a no, that locks in your primal question that you continually ask even as an adult. And asking the question, you continue to try and get a yes as the answer. Understanding the relationship to our caretaker is just the opportunity to understand the origin of your primal question. We aren't placing blame because that doesn't help us get to healing. It just helps us get to the roots quickly so you can lead and take back control of your life. Your unmet need is truly what drives everything. Personal development is great, and you should absolutely spend time on that area of your life. But it's way more important to identify your unmet need so you can create lasting change by meeting that need. So we've got your unmet needs to your emotions and feelings that lead to your behaviors. And these come in the form of 7 primal questions. Am I safe? Am I secure? Am I loved? Am I wanted? Am I successful? Am I good enough? And do I have a purpose? See, the primal question gives you a solid answer to that. Why do you do what you do? Why do you self-abandon? Why do you let fear control your decisions? The basics of your primal question show up in your everyday life. So you were stamped with that primal question in your childhood. Now as an adult, you subconsciously ask that question repeatedly. When the answer to your primal question is yes, life feels great. When the answer to your primal question is no or maybe, you enter the scramble. The scramble, you attempt to force a yes through unhealthy means. And when the answer is returned as a yes, life goes back to being good. You may be asking yourself why knowing your primal question is even important. Your life is pretty good most of the time right now. Your primal question helps you truly understand the command center to your whole life. It has a significant impact on your emotions, your relationships, the choices you make, and how you see yourself. Regarding your emotions, your primal question is directly related to your feelings and your triggers. Your emotions become flooded when your primal question gets answered with a no. So knowing your primal question will equip you with the emotional intelligence to build a plan to master your internal world. For your relationships with others, currently you spend a huge amount of time and energy trying to get your primal question answered with that yes. And when you know and understand your primal question, you stop trying to people please. You learn to express your needs in a way that others are able to relate to. How it reflects in your choices, your decisions are highly influenced by your primal question. See, when your primal question gets answered with a no, your life is hijacked by the need to force it back to a yes. So you make rash decisions, not the best decisions, often leading you to pain and suffering because of those decisions. So knowing your primal question puts you back in charge of your choices and opens up a whole world of possibilities. And most importantly, understanding your primal question helps your relationship with you. Knowing your primal question influences how you see yourself. It's the mirror with which you see your self-worth, your safety, your position in the world. It writes all the positive and negative thoughts in your brain, leading you to either own your best cheerleader or be your own worst critic. See, once you know your primal question, you can understand your past and write a better future. See, having a primal question, it's not a flaw, nor does it mean you're broken. Everyone has one of these questions. It's not knowing that question is underlying in your life and controlling the how and why of your life. Here's what knowing your primal question does. Imagine you were trying to describe a blizzard. If you had no word for snow, that's what it's like being stuck in your feelings with no way to describe your problem or the solutions. Knowing your primal questions helps teach you the language to speak what's happening and is happening inside of you. Your scramble is living in the unknown, not knowing that primal question. It sends you into a scramble as you mentally try and work out a process. During a scramble moment, you often choose compromising actions and behaviors, trying to get your primal question back to a yes. But once you know your question, you'll be able to take action against the things that have sabotaged your growth up to this point. We can create a straightforward tool to maximize your goals and dreams and relationships. But it all starts with knowing your question. Those 7 simple core questions that everyone is asking themselves. One of them drives your life.